psychic reveals his predictions for 2019, including a royal baby girl and Taylor Swift's engagement. Nicholas Odula, 33, says he has successfully predicted major events ranging from the Syrian conflict to the winner of The Apprentice. A psychic who says he was an Egyptian queen in a past life has Meghan Markle will have a baby girl. Nicholas Odula, 33, has predicted an action-packed 2019 and also reckons Taylor Swift will get engaged and Philip Hammond will launch a leadership bid. Nicholas says he has successfully predicted major events ranging from the Syrian conflict to the winner of The Apprentice. He claims that since his childhood he has been able to sense spirits and see things before they happen, usually through visionary dreams. Also working as a past life regression therapist, hypnotherapist and psychic astrologer, South Londoner Nicholas has made a number of predictions for the new year. He said, "A lot of people have been asking me if Theresa May will stay in power. I don't follow politics very closely myself, but one name that keeps coming to me is Philip Hammond. I don't know if he'll come to power himself or just try to, but he's definitely one to keep an eye on." Explaining that it is hard to pinpoint exact dates for his astonishing visions, Nicholas admits that sometimes it is only in hindsight that he can interpret what they meant. He continued, "I'll say these predictions are for 2019 and beyond, as some may not necessarily happen next year, but perhaps further in the future. The interpretation is just as important as the vision itself. Sometimes, words or images will come to me and I won't be able to make sense of them until something has happened that makes me look back and realize what I was told." One of the first news stories sure to dominate headlines in 2019 is Brexit, with the UK intending to leave the European Union in March 2019. Sure enough, Nicholas has seen visions in his dreams that he believes relates to this. He said, "With things as huge as Brexit, it's difficult as you cannot switch off that logical side of your brain. But I'm not seeing the end result as being positive, especially economically. I've been seeing a lot of visions of property crashes, so I think that could be linked." Aside from politics, the subject matter of Nicholas' visions is hugely varied, with him predicting that Sunderland Football Club will move up a league, that London cabbies will go on strike and that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's first child, due in spring 2019, will be a girl. He has also had dreams that he believes are related to earthquakes happening around Cuba and China, singer Taylor Swift announcing her engagement, actress Nicole Kidman falling pregnant, and of an issue with crops that causes food prices to skyrocket. But some of his visions are too vague or bizarre for him to know straight away exactly what they mean. He said, "I've been getting the word influenza through a lot in relation to livestock, so it could be that there is some sort of outbreak that affects the meat industry. I've also had a very specific vision of a British person with artificial limbs breaking a world record and another of a Bakerloo line tube being stuck in a tunnel for hours. It didn't feel like it was the result of a crash or anything, and everyone was okay, thankfully. One of the most bizarre visions I've had in a dream is of the London Mayor Sadiq Khan rowing down the Thames. It feels like it's part of a sporting or charity event. I've had a couple of showbiz ones too. I got the idea of Madonna doing some charity work and facing criticism for it, though I'm not sure why, and I also saw a new, younger man in her life. I was very drawn to the name Justin, too, in relation to a showbiz scandal, though I don't know which famous Justin it relates to." Nicholas first noticed his mystic gift when he was a child and would often sense his father, who tragically died when he was tiny, nearby. But he was 17 when he realized just how powerful his psychic abilities were, following an experience while he was in a deep, trance-like meditative state. He recalled, "I was meditating when I had this almost out-of-body experience, and I was able to see several of my past lives. I'd never even thought about them before, and I still can't explain it to this day. There's no logic to it, but I knew what I was seeing was me in a previous life. I saw myself as a man, woman, and even an animal. At the time, Nicholas had been set to go to university once he had completed his A-levels in history and economics, but his supernatural experience inspired him to change path and train as a past life regression therapist. He added, "I've had thousands of past lives. I've been an Egyptian queen, a maid, a teacher in the French Revolution, a deer, a lion, and even lived in another universe. Some of the lives definitely help explain things about who I am today. For example, I used to suffer with throat pain, and then I saw that, in a past life, I was a pagan, persecuted for my beliefs, so silenced, for using my voice." Also trained in curative hypnotherapy, Nicholas has helped numerous people to connect with their own past lives, which he says has even led to some of them healing ailments such as migraines and asthma. Having successfully predicted things which have happened in his personal life and the wider world, he explained how his visions most commonly come to him in dreams, saying, "They'll come very spontaneously. I have to make sure I'm relaxed and open-minded enough to receive them. The most significant thing I've predicted to date is the Syrian conflict. Around 3 years before it all happened, I had a dream that I was there. I know it was Syria because I saw the country name, but I didn't know what was going on. I felt a sense of unease, like trouble was looming, and breathlessness, like I needed to run. I also had a dream about Benazir Bhutto before she died. I couldn't see her face, but just knew it was her. Most recently, I dreamt I could see The Apprentice final, which is so bizarre and random, as I don't even watch it. I could see a woman looking really happy, so the next day I looked up the contestants online and saw Sian Gabetan, who looked exactly like the lady in my dream. I could hear this voice, too, telling me it was her. I decided to tweet it, weeks and weeks before the final, and amazingly, that's exactly who did win." Despite his remarkable predictions, Nicholas insists he is not special, instead believing that all of us possess the same abilities, but that skepticism prevents us from trusting them. He said, "All I do is tune into something we all have. We live in a logical world and so don't always see these messages, but I think we all have that sixth sense in us. People write off little things like knowing the phone is going to ring, or that you're about to get bad news as a coincidence, but if we step away from the distractions of modern life a bit, we might just be able to tune into something deeper. A lot of people are open-minded and intrigued by what I do, but of course, you do get skeptics. They say things like, 'Why don't you predict the lottery then?' But I can't control the visions I see, and me winning the lottery won't serve any purpose to the wider world. I'm a skeptic myself and try to see both sides of the coin, the logic and the psychic. At the end of the day, though, I'm not hurting anyone in what I do, so skeptics, bring it on."
What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment box below and don't forget to subscribe to get instant news updates.